Talking about Pokemon cards, let's bring it on.
Do you ever feel bad for the kids that can't get Pokemon because of you?
I mean, fuck them kids.
Pokemon cards
Asshole.
have experienced a
Complete
seemingly
asshole.
infinite growth over the last few years.
But joining in on the fun isn't so easy. If you check any of your local retailers, the shelves are often empty.
Scalpers.
Scalpers. These are people who are really trying to get as much stock as they can to resell at very high prices.
People race.
They don't do that, bro.
Even throw an elbow or two.
Jesus.
For the Pokemon card drops in a store near you.
It gets insane with these guys. They get all over each other, start fighting, throwing an elbow or two, fucking throwing a fist.
With a huge influx of bots buying up a lot of product.
Faster than humans could physically check out. And behind both of them sits Discord notification
This is when you know you're in a recession, because people are looking for the next best thing that isn't the dollar bill.
groups.
I have an army, 3,000 scalpers.
Probably proxies.
Are in my Discord group.
Software companies selling proxies.
Ah, there you go.
How your bot gets different IP addresses.
Streamers paying premiums for wholesale inventory.
I have a business. I obviously have to make money. Some people win, some people lose. That's capitalism.
And marketplaces collecting fees on every sale.
Collectibles has been a growing category on eBay. Pokemon is up triple digits year on year in terms of growth.
And every layer is making money from the exact same product, which creates a strange situation. Because by the time a child gets a pack of Pokemon cards, multiple people have already profited from it. So how did $1 billion kids game spawn an entire shadow economy, and who does it actually benefit?
I think it's the nostalgia it brings. Like, you think about people who have disposable income, and you think of millennials specifically that lived through that generation. They have disposable income, and that's who's primarily buying into the whole thing. I mean, it's gone up. It's gone up way more than expected. It's outperforming S&P 500, gold and silver. Just the inflationary rate of how the cards have gone up in price, and prior to that, it was basically unheard of to have this level of growth.
Yeah, it runs deep. Most people have no idea everything that goes on in the scalper world. There's a lot that goes into it, man.
Scalping is not a new invention. It is the oldest financial behavior in existence.
The word scalping originated in the reselling game because of people who would scalp event tickets, concert tickets, right? That's where the word originated from. So reselling has been a thing, dude, for like longer than most of these people who hate scalpers have been alive. Like, reselling has been a thing since the beginning of time.
Wherever there is a gap between what something costs and what someone will pay, certain people will stand in that gap.
Beanie
and
Babies.
collect the difference. Economists call it arbitrage. Everyone else calls it
Do I think it's a fad?
Scalper culture has like.
Maybe.
Call me crazy.
I mean, everything stops at some point, and I think when the generation that grew up with it ends up getting a little bit older,
sneaker launches,
it'll eventually die down.
Releases. The faces change. The mechanism never does.
Labubu's, those things, I never understood why people buy those damn things. They're ugly as shit. But the marketing was such on point that they were selling out like crazy.
Buy it first. Sell it at a premium. Scalpers don't think in terms of products. They think in terms of markets. Always scanning for the next moment where retail price and market price come apart. Then a new market opened up. One nobody in that world had been watching. The people who moved first realized something nobody else understood yet, and it sparked the biggest scalper gold rush in modern history.
Oh yeah?
Then in March 2020, the world shut down.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
We will be suspending all travel from...
I remember that time. It
Businesses
sucked.
closed. Stimulus checks arrived.
Stimmy
People sat
money.
at home with more money and more time than they knew what to do with, and nowhere to spend either.
But when COVID stopped our world, it reignited a Pokemon craze.
Everybody's kind of locked inside, right? And they're stuck at home. And I think a lot of people were looking for some nostalgia.
Nostalgia became the dominant.
I don't think it was that. I think people just wanted to spend money because they were just boredom. Just flat out bored with their lives. And so Pokemon's just essentially gambling, right? So why not?
consumer emotion of the pandemic, and Pokemon sat right at the center of it. Then Logan Paul opened a 200,000.
Yeah, I think that was the catalyst right there. When Logan Paul opened the box that it was like $60,000 for Pokemon cards, and then he got the Premier Pikachu card. I think that one was sold for like 16.5 million if I stand corrected. I think those two were the biggest catalyst there.
$1,000 box of first edition cards on stream. Pokemon cards started breaking auction records. Financial media started covering the hobby the way they covered commodities.
It is time to dig out your old Pokemon cards.
Financial experts say the monster trading cards are holding up better than the S&P 500.
Traditionally, in the finance world,
yeah,
the
they
term
are.
Alternative assets is used for things like real estate, hedge funds, private equity, and now in that list
collectibles
is a base set Charizard.
This card broke the Pokemon collectible record for selling over $350,000. That record was broken just a few hours later when this card sold for $369,000.
$11,000 for a booster pack that used to cost $4.
First edition base set has sold at an auction $408,000.
This is just completely arbitrary pricing because these are luxury goods. It's just based
for Pokemon cards. For fucking cardboard.
on demand, that's all it is.
The Pokemon card market exploded in value. When prices move that fast, people stop seeing a product and start seeing an opportunity.
Jesus.
Cards became inventory, sealed boxes became speculative assets, and whenever something can be bought low and sold high reliably, a certain type of person arrives. For a while, the money seemed endless. But like every boom, this one eventually slowed. Prices corrected, casual speculators exited. Most people assumed it was over. It wasn't. Because while most people
I don't even think it's over, to be honest.
the infrastructure built
It's just
during
getting
it
started.
never disappeared. And when demand returned, they were ready.
Now these fuckers
Then
here.
in late 2024, demand started accelerating again.
Remember Pokemon cards from the 90s? Well, they're hot again, and they are bringing in sky-high prices.
Just to give you an idea of the price rises very quickly, between 2004 and 2020, Pokemon card prices rose 282%. That's according to collectors who track an index. Between 2020 to now, that rise has been 1,350%. It's outperformed some asset classes, and it shows you really how much craziness and frenzy there is in this market.
This, and this is what you must go through in order to find Pokemon cards at retail price on release day.
Adult men can't
Imagine the smell.
stop punching each other.
It's
in
better
retail
than Magic the
stores,
Gathering,
all
that's
for
for
one
sure.
reason. Pokemon cards.
Stop fighting, it's just Pokemon cards!
I see videos all the time of like people catching a restock, and you just see like these big dudes like going in and grabbing as much product as they can.
Those looking to make money off the lack of supply are gobbling the product up and selling it.
They must not make much off of these packs. Probably like $10 or $15. So they have to get the volume if they want to make money. That's what I don't understand about scalpers. If you're not getting big volumes, then that's, there's no point really to it. But I guess it works for most of them, supposedly.
And higher prices.
I think they're overestimating what these guys actually make.
They will wipe out inventory if allowed to where the general consumer cannot get a product.
The pattern was routine. Release day, empty store, frustrated customers. The market hadn't died. It had reloaded. And where there's money to be made, scalpers are never far behind.
I'm at GameStop, 47 of them. It's 11:30, and all these unemployed people outside right now.
I could say I'm a scalper, so to speak. Mainly, I'm going to just resell them.
So, we managed to get, I don't even know how many it is. I've got so many.
Profit margins aren't the best, but in volume, it's worth it. So far, I sold 48 boxes. So after shipping and fees, I profit around $5 each box, netting me $240.
There is nothing they won't do to get their grubby, unwashed paws on some Pokemon product to try and flip.
No, he's right.
Parents drove across town and found.
But for $5 each, I mean, you have to be getting some serious amount of Pokemon cards in order to be making any form of like
resellers
Overhead.
come in and clear the shelves out, and then there's none for the children.
People going in there solely for a money-making purpose versus you trying to do something that you love, you know, with your kids or things like that. Just the concept of it sucks.
Do you ever feel bad for the kids that can't get Pokemon because of you?
Man, fuck them kids.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
The scalpers became the story, but when a retail scalper
Grown man there. Fucking grown man.
clears a shelf, where does that product actually go? The retail scalpers were feeding a chain they hadn't built. The public blamed the scalpers. The news blamed the scalpers. And for a while, it looked like the scalpers were the entire story, but they weren't running the system. They were just the most visible part of it. The people making the real money were operating several layers above them, and they were feeding the entire infrastructure.
Follow the money.
The retail
Where's the money going
scalpers are
to?
the ground floor. Above
You know who's winning?
something far more
You know who's winning? The company who makes them. That and fucking the paper company. I bet they're making a mint off of this. But imagine just being Pokemon. There's no way that you could disincentivize for them to help with the scalpers because they're buying all the products. I don't think it dies down, or I don't think this problem with the scalper dies down unless the company basically says that they're going to mass produce more and more of the same cards. So it basically gets rid of the volume. I mean, that's the only way I think of it ever dying down.
efficient had been running the whole time.
All fingers point towards automated retail purchasing bots buying stock in a fraction of the time that it takes a user to buy a box of Pokemon cards.
Think about it like hiring 100 people to buy products for you.
Software mature enough to detect live inventory, add to cart, and complete checkout in under 30 seconds. When the Pokemon market heated
Don't
up,
even have
the
a chance of
infrastructure
buying the
just needed a new
Pokemon
product to
cards
point at.
whatsoever.
The safest and most profitable category to resell is Pokemon cards. These items sell out instantly the moment they drop or restock online, and it's all because of those pesky botters and resellers. So if you can't beat them, join them, because after all, complaining about it over and over and over again isn't going to help you get any checkouts. So it can be quite the lucrative side hustle. I added up all of these drop recaps and we're looking to make around $4,586.42.
How much do you think you are making a month from reselling Pokemon?
15 to 20k a month.
What the fuck? There's no way. There is no way they're making that much.
When a restock dropped, bots hit the site before most users had the page loaded. Proxy networks
Selling for that
masked
much
each
for
order behind a
Pokemon
different
cards? That's
IP,
insane.
defeating per household limits, which means a regular human never stood a chance. Above the botters sits the information networks.
A lot of bots, you can't even purchase them unless you're in a group like ours because we get exclusive deals to where you have to be in our group to even purchase the bot.
These scalpers.
What kind of guys are you getting an exclusive deal for that?
Over the general public.
Private
You just
Discord
scalp?
servers, invite only, running stock monitors around the clock, alerting members the instant inventory.
There must be
appears,
bots
sometimes
against
before it
this.
was
Like,
publicly
so
listed.
say for instance the company basically doesn't want anyone using bots, that they have anti-bot software. There must be something like that, so at least people can get at least one Pokemon pack when they do their drops.
The best networks have contacts inside distribution centers and logistics chains. Tier 1 gets alerts, but the top paying tier gets advanced intelligence that separates a profitable month from a career-defining one. They aren't selling alerts, they're selling certainty.
A cook group's primary job is to help its members make money. So that means they're obligated to teach you all the aspects of reselling and do it in a way that's easy to understand, even for beginners.
And you know, we send out the information to the group. Yeah, and it is a paid subscription service. You do have to pay to be in the group.
Yeah.
I have done $550,000 in sales.
Jesus.
I've made more in the last 90 days than most people make in like 5 years.
Whether the market runs hot or cold, the subscription renewed.
But they're not the only ways you can buy packs. No, there is the second-hand market online, aka rip and ships with Whatnot.
I think what's helped.
Yeah, I don't understand that Whatnot business.
Influx of like rip and shippers and people don't want to go out to the stores.
It's active gambling. That's what it is.
On like Whatnot or TikTok and pay someone to open the back for them.
All of that inventory flows downstream to rip and ship streamers whose audiences pay to watch live pack openings on Twitch and YouTube.
You pay for a live pack opening? I don't understand that. It's like fucking softcore porn that you pay for.
Just nonstop. I'm pretty good at like psychologically like milking people for money. Right? You just lost $170.
5 seconds, go. Let's go. We gotta start the next one at $1. People are pre-betting. This is the hottest thing in the world right now. Literally the hottest thing in the world. Look at this. Go, no one check out 5. Oh my god, and $1! Another one, go!
Auctions live on
That is so retarded.
the bottom. Let's see it, boys and girls. Oh no, I'm just giving them away. Everyone's sleepy this morning. My god.
Like, who in their right mind pays for this? I know it's a lot of people, but come on. You're paying for someone else to open the pack that you paid for online? Do you even get the cards?
Taking this one for an insane steal. All right, let's see it.
A single case opening could generate more in ad revenue and subscriptions than the cards were worth on the secondary market. So streamers pay above retail for guaranteed supply because losing stock means losing content, and losing content means losing income.
At this point, I can't really see much of a difference between a scalper and a Whatnot streamer. If you're buying out the supply from stores to then resell and open on your stream for extortionate prices,
no kidding.
that is scalping.
Multiple hands, multiple margins, multiple cuts. The machine didn't need to be rebuilt for the 2025 surge. It had been maintained between cycles, waiting. When demand came back, it was already running, which raises the question nobody...
The way I think that this can resolve itself is, one, the companies basically keep on printing more and more cards of the same kind. This drives the value down. But they're not going to do that because there's no way for you to disincentivize a company that's making millions of dollars off of these traders and scalpers and just regular people. No way for you to stop that. Now, the other issue is that Pokemon's essentially gambling. It was never meant to be played, essentially. If you look at the cards that, like Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is already designed to be played game. Pokemon cards came as a direct result from the video game. So it was basically gambling in the video game, but without the level and measure of actually putting your money down.
wanted to ask, who benefits most when scarcity is permanent? To answer that, you have to stop looking at who is buying Pokemon cards and start looking at who is making money every time they change hands. Here's the thing about what's actually happening with Pokemon. Scalpers don't break the hobby. They're a symptom. The real story is financialization. The moment a market becomes profitable enough, infrastructure builds itself around extracting value from it. Not through conspiracy.
It's insane how much money this is pulling.
Simply because money attracts systems.
All for cardboard.
The systems are always more efficient than people.
Sheets of cardboard.
Retail scalpers came first because the margin was easy. Then botters because it was scalable. Then information networks because information is the most leverageable asset in any market. Then platforms, software businesses, and content ecosystems. Each layer arriving because the one before it made it possible, and each one making the product slightly less accessible to the person it was originally designed for. That is what financialization does. It doesn't destroy a market, it reorganizes it around extraction. And what is being extracted isn't the product, it's not cardboard, it's not even scarcity, it's nostalgia. The adults paying hundreds of dollars for Pokemon cards today are the children who got emotionally attached 20 years ago. They built a nostalgic relationship with
Can't let go
when it was a $4 impulse buy at a checkout line, before it was an asset class, before it had a secondary market, when it was just a thing they loved. That love is the foundation of everything. Without it, there is no nostalgia. Without nostalgia, there is no adult demand. Without adult demand, the scalpers, the botters, the Discord servers, none of it exists. Nostalgia has to be created before it can be monetized. And that's the one thing no bot, marketplace, or reseller can manufacture. The children who are supposed to be creating that nostalgia right now, the next generation of future collectors, are growing up in a market that was not built for them, where product vanishes before they wake up, where a booster pack costs more than their allowance can stretch, and where the hobby feels like it belongs to someone else. Every Pokemon boom has been powered by adults chasing memories they made as children. If today's children never get the chance to make those memories, who is left to chase them 20 years from now?
The trading card market will die. Yeah, it will single-handedly die.
Leave a
I
comment.
think he's
to let me
correct.
know
I think
your
he's
thoughts,
100%
and make
correct.
sure you hit that subscribe button.
Once the old generation ends and the new one takes fold, you won't have this demand anymore. You won't have this sudden surge of wanting to buy Pokemon cards. Then it'll be the next best thing, whatever that may be. But it certainly won't be Pokemon cards. It'll still hold value, don't get me wrong. It'll still hold value, but it won't be like it was before. It's like the Beanie Baby craze, or the Cabbage Patch Kids craze, where women were fucking socking the shit out of each other for these Cabbage Patch Kids. It all ends at one point in time. Alright, that's it. Go away now.